Hello everyone, today we are reading Be My Valentine, a Rugrats book. It was Valentine's Day and there was a lot going on at the Pickles' house. How come we are eating cookies that look like our butts? Phil asked. He held his heart cookie upside down. It's supposed to be a heart, Philip, Lil said, giggling. Like all them. She pointed at the decorations hanging from the ceiling. My mommy made these cookies for Valentine's Day, Tommy said proudly. What's Valentine's Day? Asked Chucky with his mouth full of crumbs. I'm not sure exactly, said Tommy, but it's got yummy food. Yeah, agreed Lil. And lots of kissing and mushy talk and stuff like that. These costumes are gonna be dynamite at the dance tonight, exclaimed Stu, putting on a long fur coat. And love through the ages is such a wonderful Valentine's theme, Didi sighed. Just then, Charlotte and Drew arrived. Ladies and gentlemen, and you too, Stu, Drew said, presenting the one, the only, Cupid! He exclaimed. Angelica leaped into the room. Roses are red, my dress is red too, she recited loudly. Roses are red, my dress is red too. Happy, 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 happy Valentine's Day to you. Angelica twirled like a ballerina, then shot her arrow. Ow! Said Stu. Cupid got me. Guess I would better watch out, said Diddy as Stu hugged and kissed her. Angelica found the babies in their playpen. Hey, she said, what are you babies eating? The babies crammed the rest of Diddy's cookies in their mouth. Nothing, they mumbled. Aha, said Angelica. Those are cookie crumbs. That means there are cookies around here somewhere. She began to search for them. Why, look here, Grandpa Lou said as he walked into the room and saw Angelica. It's Cupid. You shot me with your arrow the day I met your Grandma Trixie. I will never forget. What an interesting story, Grandpa, Angelica said. I'm gonna go get some cookies now. See ya later. She ran out of the room. Grandpa Lou turned to the babies. I fell in love with Trixie right away. The trick was getting her to fall for me, he said. I took her out dancing. I looked pretty dapper too. Here is the hat and tie I wore. We had a cozy little dinner and a moonlight cruise. Grandpa remembered. By the time the boat hit the dock, he said, yawning, she was stuck on me too. Grandpa slept. Just then a horn honked. The baby's parents ran outside to see Chess arrive in a fancy old car. Is this car neat or what? Chess said with a smile. Who else but Chess would rent a car to match his costume? Stu chuckled. Chess smiled proudly. This is your lucky day, he said. I am in charge of the punch bowl tonight, and you folks get to be testers. Back inside the house, Lil shouted, Look, Angelica's arrow! Gimme that, said Phil as he tugged on the arrow. The arrow popped up, sailed through the air, and bounced off of Spike. Angelica came back with a plate of cookies. Now you babies really done it. You better find Spike a Valentine to love, because if you don't, he will end up with. Angelica grabbed her chest and fell to her knees. A broken heart, she moaned. Tommy patted Spike's head. Don't worry, he said. We will find you a Valentine. Maybe one of the goldfishes, suggested Lil. The babies pressed their nose against the goldfish bowl. The fish swam away. How about Raptor? Asked Lil. Chucky looked at Raptor's ferocious face. He don't look too friendly. Spike needs a Valentine that's warm and soft and furry like him, replied Tommy. He needs a Valentine like meow, meow, like Fluffy, yelled all the babies running after the cat. Lil grabbed Fluffy and sat her down in front of Spike. Happy Valentine's Day, Spike, she said. Chucky pushed Fluffy toward Spike. Fluffy, go give Spike a great big kiss, he said. Fluffy hissed at Chucky. I don't think Fluffy likes Spike, said Phil. Tommy patted Spike's head. Maybe he needs to do some of that stuff Grandpa did to get his Valentine, he said. The babies put Grandpa's hat and tie on Spike. You look real dappy, Spike. Tommy laughed. Fluffy ignored Spike and walked away. Grandpa said a fancy dinner helped him get his Valentine, said Lil. The babies put Spike and Fluffy in kitchen chairs. We made you some of our favorite stuff for your Valentine's dinner, said Phil. Lil pointed at the food on the table. There is cheese and cereal and pocket pudding. Phil picked some lint out of his belly button and sprinkled it on the dinner. And other delicious stuffs, Lil continued. All of a sudden, Spike jumped up on the table and ate Fluffy's food. Then he ate his own. Fluffy jumped on Spike's back and dug her claws in. The cat and dog ran around in circles, yelping and meowing. Fluffy's stuck on Spike, Phil said, clapping his hands. That means she like him, don't it? I don't think so, Philip, replied Lil. The grown-ups came inside the house. Stu was carrying a big bowl full of yummy-looking juice. It's time to taste the Valentine punch, he said. Just then, Fluffy and Spike ran down the stairs past Stu. The punch spilled all over the cat and dog. Fluffy and Spike began to lick the punch off each other's fur. Look, they are kissing, exclaimed Tommy. Guess they love each other after all, Chucky said happily. Soon after, everyone left the house for the Valentine dance. Ah, Stu, Diddy said. I am so excited we are finally going to have a romantic evening together. Stu and Diddy brought Tommy and Dill to the babysitting room. Bye bye, my sweethearts, said Diddy. You have fun while Mommy and Daddy are on their date. Chucky ran over to the babies. I was the first kid here at this party, he said. I have been waiting for a long, long time. Why were you here so early? Asked Tommy. 'Cause my daddy's in charge of the puncher bowl. And that's the most importantest part of Valentine's Day, Chucky replied. No, it's not, Finster. She and Susie Carmichael were cutting out and making Valentine cards. The most important part of Valentine's Day is love, Susie explained. Yeah, said Angelica. On Valentine's Day, you have got to tell all your favoritist people that you love them. Okay, said Tommy. I love you, Chucky. I love you too, said Chucky. I love you, Phil. I love you, Lil. No, yelled Angelica. You are not supposed to say it. You are supposed to give each other valentines. Tommy made a valentine for Dill. Phil made one for Lil. Lil made one for Phil. Chucky started cutting out a heart and declared, I'm gonna make a real special valentine for my daddy because I love him a whole bunch and he don't got anyone else to make one for him. Aww. Angelica and Susie were still busy making valentines too. Angelica looked at Susie's paper heart. Who's that for? Asked Angelica. "Ah, just someone," replied Susie. Is that for someone named Timmy McNulty? Because I'm making a valentine for Timmy and he is gonna like mine best, Angelica announced. Maybe he will and maybe he won't, Susie said. The girls frantically cut and pasted hearts, flowers, and lace to their valentines. Phil reached for a red crayon. A little girl with big eyes and curly hair touched his hand. Why is that little girl staring at you? Chucky asked. I don't know, replied Phil. Lil sniffed. Maybe it's because you smell like paste, she said, standing between the little girl and Phil. Then Lil eyed the girl and said, Shoo! Tommy walked over to Chucky. What happened to your Valentine, Chucky? He asked. I was using lots of glue on my daddy's Valentine and then it hit my head and my hand got stuck, he explained. The babysitter had to use scissors to cut the Valentine free. Are you okay, Chucky? Tommy asked. Yep, my Valentine's even better now. It got my hairs on it, he said proudly. Chucky yawned. Okay, everybody, it's time for me to go to sleep. When I wake up, my daddy will be here and I can give him his Valentine. Angelica laughed. Wrong, Finster. Valentines are only good on Valentine's Day. And when you go to sleep, Valentine's Day is over. Chucky panicked. Did you hear that? He cried, holding up his hairy Valentine. I have got to get this to my daddy before I go to sleep. Tommy placed baby Dill in a stroller. The curly haired little girl returned. Chucky whispered to Tommy, What are we gonna do? That girl can't come with us. The little girl yawned. Don't worry, Tommy said. I got an idea. He whispered to Phil. The little girl lay down. Phil sang her a song. Bubbly and good night. Go to sleep, leave me alone. Go away, he sang softly. She fell asleep. That's enough, Philip, said Lil. The babies tiptoed out of the nursery. Susie and Angelica took their finished valentines and walked over to present them to Timmy. Wow! Just what I need! Timmy yelled, grabbing the beautiful hearts. He ripped a button and a shoelace off the valentines and pasted them on his own picture. Now my fire truck has a hose and my Dalmatian got spots. Angelica shook her head. Boys, who needs them? She asked. Yeah, Susie agreed. They are so immature. The girls handed their valentines to each other. Happy Valentine's Day, they said together. The babies hurried onto the dance floor. Chucky saw Chess serving punch. My poor daddy, he said. Valentine's Day is almost over, and he don't have his Valentine. There's only one thing to do. Chucky lifted Dill out of the stroller and handed him to Tommy. Chucky climbed in and grabbed the sides. Tommy pushed the stroller toward Chess and the punch bowl. As the stroller zoomed under the table, Chucky held up his Valentine for Chess. Chucky, how did you? Is this for me? This is the most beautiful Valentine I have ever received, Chess said, giving Chucky a great big hug. Thank you! Stu and Diddy danced cheek to cheek. I was just thinking, Diddy said. I really missed the boys. Tommy tugged on the hem of Stu's coat. Tommy! Dill! Exclaimed Stu. Oh, Stu! It looks like they missed us too. Diddy smiled. And the children gave each other a thumbs up because they were successful. The end. I hope you enjoyed this story. If you did, make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe. Bye.